it's not correct in my opinion.
So if you so 2 points. If you dissociate, Mirco, you tell me if you agree on that. If the two condyles are seen differently on the femur, or if the two slopes are not seen exactly superimposed on the lateral view, you reject the X-ray. If you have this patient coming with the X-ray C, okay, would you measure the slope on this one, or ask him to redo the X-ray? This is always a question, because we can, of course, I like the D too, but sometimes the patient just show up with the C, and you can always say, go back to the radiologist. I don't like the C myself, because you see that there is an inclination of the X-ray compared to the femur anyway. But I would say that you can have a fair evaluation of the slope, probably the medial one, and we're going to discuss that after, with the C. Are you agree, or you're not agree with that?
Yeah, so I think it's pretty important if you see like the slope is in a range where you say, okay, this is completely normal, and I wouldn't see any indication for any other operation for that. So I wouldn't do like a new X-ray if it's maybe like 1 or 2 degrees, but it's around 7. I don't care about 7 or 9. So in this case, I would say, okay, that's fine, I can see enough. But if you're on the threshold in the area where you say, oh, maybe this is too much, then I would like to get a really good X-ray. And as we already mentioned, I do it long.
So I don't have the images. So another question for you, Jörg. Do you rely on MRI slopes?
No.
Never.
Never measure. I also don't see
because
the point.
Most of the literature, initial literature, specifically from the US and Bob Laprade, which is one of the key person around this subject in the US, published a lot of paper with the free sickle methods on MRI. So my question is, would you rely on MRI to measure the slope of your patient if you intend to do an osteotomy? Again, I'm not talking about the MRI you can screen and say the slope looks okay. The patient you intend to do an osteotomy, the revision, for example, ACL, can you rely on MRI? And why not if you can't?
In my opinion, definitely not. Doing the decision for osteotomy. Osteotomy is a real big deal. It's big surgery, and if you have an MRI, the tibia is only on that in very, very little slices and not very long. Let it count about maximum 15 centimeters. And we all know about this tibial bowing that in many patients comes very strong. So then we have a failure, a measurement failure that can be immense. So I never would give the definite indication for osteotomy only relying on an MRI. Never.
Okay, we switch to the next one for Rags. You already answered it. Short or long X-rays. So it's of course the same X-rays, left and right, but in 2 different versions.